Hey guys, Social Climber Pro here, and the cool kids are at it again. So it's the day we said it would be and the time that we said it would be, and we are here to talk about design and branding. This is my super special secret weapon, Amy. And Amy's our graphic designer, and she knows stuff that I don't know. So here's the cool thing about doing marketing. I only have to know so much, and then all I need to know is people who know the other stuff. So here we go, glasses off, ready to teach. Okay, so there's a lot of things that I learned about branding, and I think you're going to learn also. So one of the cool things that I didn't know a lot about was font pairings. So how do you decide? How do you decide like what font you want for your business?
Well, before you pick a font, you should probably sit down and think about your brand as a whole and kind of what you want your personality to be, what kind of vibes you want to send out, who your customers are, and then you're going to pick a font based off of those factors. So then, you know, if you're something really professional, maybe you're business to business, you're going to want something probably simpler and cleaner. If you're marketing to kids' clothing, you can do something more fun, you know, not so serious. So it kind of depends on all those factors. And then once you have your base font, like your main, you know, body text, all that good stuff, you can kind of pick some other fonts to go along with that and pair with them. Maybe you have a really thin serif font for your body text. You might pick a chunkier, bolder, you know, something that contrasts. Contrast is good for font pairings.
So would you ever pick like something that's all print and then a, what do they call it? Like cursive? What's it called?
Like a script?
Yeah, script. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally love to mix the script, you know, but not too much. That's something you want to use as just like a little bit of a touch. You don't want too much of that. It's going to be way too hard to read. It's going to be way too busy. So just as like a little highlight.
And I know what drives me crazy is people don't think about this, and I know they don't think about it because I see it all the time. Like they'll pick a fancy script font, and then they'll decide to type something in all caps.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's horrible. It's the worst ever. Don't do that. Like, it's not meant to go like that. It's meant to flow into a lowercase letter, and when you're putting them all in, they're like, they just don't match, and you can't read it, and it's horrible. So if you want to do something that's going to be all caps, don't do it in the script. Do it in your regular simple font that you use. Okay, so are fonts free?
There are some free resources that you can use, and it depends a lot on what you're building to. If you're building a website, you're going to need to be more careful about buying your fonts. And when you're buying them, you're going to have a lot more options, and you're going to have a lot better quality, and it's going to be easier to tailor them to your unique style and brand.
Well, I think what a lot of people don't know is that there's people out there that for a living, they create fonts.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they create this whole set of fonts, you know, whether they're bold, or they're thin, or they're rounded, or I mean, they may create the whole set of fonts in like maybe 8 different versions of it. And then they do that for a living. So you go and you buy the rights to use them, and you buy the licenses to use them, either for print publication, or if you're using it for your website, then you have to buy that license for that too.
Right.
Sometimes fonts come free, like with Microsoft Office, you have a whole set of fonts that will come, and some other softwares, like I use Canva a lot, and so there's a set of fonts in there, but if I want to use my fonts in there, then I have to make sure that I've purchased them, and then I can import them into whatever platform I'm working with. So I think a lot of people didn't know that, because I didn't know it till I bought my first set of fonts.
Yeah, you wouldn't know until you had to do it.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, what do you mean this font isn't available? Well, who hasn't? What do you mean people get paid to do this? Let me see. I have some more questions that I wrote down here for you. If they decide on, like, let's say 2 font pairings, so a big, bold, chunky one and something script underneath it, should they use it on everything, or can they just go grab other fonts when they want to? What do you advise?
For the most part, I would say to stick with your main font choices to keep, you know, consistency, which is really important, to look professional. I mean, if you have something, an event or something seasonal, you want to throw something else and that goes with that, that's great. But just don't go crazy, because you want to maintain that brand that you've been working on building. Right.
And so I had likened this to like Coca-Cola. Like, you can walk past a can of Coca-Cola sitting on a desk somewhere and not even look at it. You're not even turning and looking at it, and you know it's a can of Coke by 2 things. The first thing is the color of the can. It's the same color of red Day in, day out, they never change that. And the second thing is the font for the Coca-Cola. You can tell it subliminally, you know they have branded that into your mind. And so that's what branding is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be just like that. So now that we've talked about fonts and branding, so the next thing that I learned about was hex codes. I didn't know that colors had a number associated with them that went with it. I'm like, oh, that looks like really close. Don't you think that's like really close? And I didn't know that you could pick the exact color over again. So tell me about this thing called hex codes.
Basically, like you said, it's just a number code that corresponds with a certain exact color. So if you want to have your website color match your Facebook cover photo colors, and you can get everything exactly the same. You can convert that to print. You can just, that way everything matches and everything's consistent. Again, consistency is important.
One of the things that is really important, and we ask our clients all the time, is do they have a brand book? And the brand book will have your font pairings, your hex codes, what you use, what color do you use even on your text? Do you always use it to be black, or do you use it, in some of these other colors? And so if you don't know your brand, hang on a second, I gotta fix this light. It's gonna go drive me crazy because it's like a strobe. Let's try that one. Okay. You kind of need to have that somewhere that's simple to transport or to transfer to people who need it for you. So if the newspaper is doing a write-up on you and you want them to have your stuff, you want them to have your logo, and you want them to have your hex codes, and you want them to use the right font for you when they're creating an ad for you, have that someplace really accessible. We call that a brand book. And so what do you think, like, for a company's color? Should they just have one? Should they have a color pairing? Should they have more than one?
I think they should have more than one, because anything with just one color is not going to stand out. You're going to want a couple, but choose them carefully. Choose things that complement each other, and maybe colors picked out of your logo. Maybe add something to that. I wouldn't go crazy. I would stick with a couple colors, maybe 3 main colors, and you can always build off that depending on what you're working on. But
I think it's important too. And then, so let's talk about branding. Do you think branding is just your fonts and your colors?
No.
Tell me what you think branding is.
Branding is a lot of things. It's those things, it's your logo, it's all of that combined. It's kind of your personality as a company. It's what you want your customers to feel and think of, and that's how you bring in your target audience, really.
I think another thing too that people don't realize, and I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this company makes sure that every time they put a photo out, they use the same filter on it every time. They have a real bright light feeling, and so they'll put almost a transparency over it of white, and then make it transparent so you see through it, but that every photo that they post has the exact same filter on it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Absolutely. It's a great way to brand.
I think so too, because then when you're looking at it, you're like, whether they have their logo on it or not.
Yeah,
you know,
recognize it, then that's great.
Yeah, I think so too. So tell me some of the things you want to talk about branding.
Before you do anything with your brand, a lot of people think it's just a logo, which it's not. That's important, but there's so much more to your brand than that. You need to sit down and think about your target audience, what you want them to think about you. Do you want to, like I said before, are you a children's clothing store? Do you want to seem fun and approachable? Are you more business to business? You need to seem professional, like you know what you're doing. You need to kind of brainstorm and figure out what that is for you. And before you can do anything else, you really need to figure out those things.
I agree. And we had this issue come up for ourselves as a company, because when we first started out, our main target audience was small businesses, and so our color scheme was really kind of light and fun. So light colors and a color block. And then when we started gradually moving towards the automotive industry, I didn't really feel like that color scheme really went with the audience that we were approaching, and so we had changed it to a more bold color scheme. And I'm still torn because I really like that other one. I really like that one better than the one, but I know that for my audience it's this way, so I'm transitioning myself out of that.
Right.
It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it can be hard to pick what you like personally versus what's appropriate for
I know,
your
I'm like,
business.
but I like that one. I know, it drives me crazy because I like it, but here's the thing, it doesn't matter. And that's me as my business, so I know you as business owners are doing the same thing. So don't pick what you like, pick what's going to resonate with your audience.
Right.
And then keep your brand clean and in that direction. And I mean, it's important that you like it. There's got to be something in there you like, but it may not be your favorite one. But if you're targeting a more masculine industry and you're using pastel colors, that's probably a bad mix.
Probably.
So I think, unless you have something else. This is a short one today on branding. I'm going to have Amy kind of put together a little cheat sheet. It'll take her just a little bit. She'll probably pop it out later today or maybe tomorrow. And we'll post it on Facebook. And just some tips on maybe like this font looks good with this font. If you could just create like a little graphic or whatever, and this one looks good. And then maybe these are good color pairings.
Do that.
Can you do that? Okay, perfect. So just go find us over on Facebook, which you are right now. And then I may also pop it out on the website so you guys can download it there. But anyways, go there, find those resources, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.